Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Lines of the Republic here on the Republic page. We are your hosts, Ben and Suki, and I'm joining you live from a classroom in my college that I have stolen to sit in and record this episode. We're recording this on a Sunday, but my house Wi-Fi, my house internet broke this morning, so my housemate is currently fixing it, whilst I have walked 20 minutes to get some decent connection.
See,
That's why that's why we keep my lovely housemate who's an engineer around. He knows how to fix it, but we are live. We are Even the internet cannot stop us, and we have a lot to talk about in the world of New Japan and pro wrestling today. We obviously should probably start with perhaps the elephant in the room, which is the death of the founder of New Japan Pro Wrestling, arguably one of the most influential figures in professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, and combat sports in general, the death of the late, great legend Antonio Inoki.
yes,
So I wanted to ask, what has the reaction to Inoki's passing been in Japan?
it's shocking, but I think that we knew this was gonna come someday. Since 3 years ago, he's been affected with this disease, 3 years ago, and then recently, there has been an English translation on his last words on Reddit somewhere, but his but if you see that video, somewhere Inoki said that normally you wouldn't want to see me Inoki being in such weak form, but there's just no choice. So that was if you see that video, it said that he can't move his upper body without assistance, and it's been shocking. Of course, he's a big name in professional wrestling. He's a
Mm.
big name in Japan in general. It kind of hit me hard that weekend because I believe it was Saturday morning, and then I knew exactly where I was. I was at a karaoke booth where I was supposed to go sing with my friends. And then I saw the news on, I think, Yahoo or somewhere, and it said Antonio Inoki died at the later age of 79 years old. It really hit me hard where I also had to write an article on that. And that weekend I remember bawling my eyes out and all that. But like other wrestlers are also very shocked by this news. Like Shingo Takagi, uh on his Instagram page, he wrote this very beautiful passage on Antonio Inoki and TJP. So if you know his tattoo, TJP has this tattoo on the road of Antonio Inoki's wise words on his chest. It's very sad to see him pass. Actually, me. Um, I mean, we're talking about a guy that took a gnarly backdrop at the age of 54. So I thought he was like superhuman. I mean, and to see him gone this early, I mean, it's in the 50th year of New Japan Pro Wrestling too. It's very sad to see him gone. Uh, there's been many tributes on TV for the past week or so. Every morning, I switch on the news. There has to be something with Inoki, and I think around yesterday and next week there's World Pro Wrestling, which is the pro wrestling in thing on TV. They're gonna do a tribute on Inoki, so they're gonna show us matches with Big Van Vader, uh, Ricky Choshu, Lucez, all those guys. But it's sad to see him gone. How about the Western view for Inoki's death, Ben?
Um, it's obviously for some American fans or Western fans, the name Antonio Inoki perhaps didn't mean as much as he certainly didn't have the same cultural impact in the West as he did in his homeland. But for those who knew Inoki, for those who knew of Inoki, there have been similarly a great deal of tributes paid. various wrestlers, wrestling promotions, every major wrestling promotion in the United States and the in Great Britain that I'm aware of paid tribute to him. WWE have officially recognized his championship reign for the first time. For those who don't know, Antonio Inoki beat Hulk Hogan when Hulk Hogan was WWF champion in Japan, but WWF never recognized the championship reign. They do now. They acknowledge that Antonio Inoki held the WWF championship. Um, they paid tribute to him live on SmackDown as his death was announced. There have been 10 bell salutes everywhere. And of course, it isn't just the world of pro wrestling that mourns the loss of arguably one of its greatest forefathers. It's, the world of MMA, mixed martial arts, and all combat sports.
Yeah.
I have to say, my personal favorite tribute was that of Minoru Suzuki, who wrote a very short but heartfelt tribute to the person who inspired him to take up wrestling. I'm not going to quote it because I feel like it should be read, but Suzuki has a very nice turn of phrase and he puts it together very well. If you'd like to read a very good obituary, um, obviously there are many tributes and obituaries being paid, but if you'd like to read one in the English language, Dave Meltzer has written a 24,000 word, 13-page obituary for Antonio Inoki, which really does pay homage to the legendary influence of the man, the myth, the legend who, for, for in today's day and age, there is not a figure in pro wrestling, American, Japanese, wherever, who has had that same cultural influence. Everyone in Japan knew Antonio Inoki.
Yeah. Uh,
Like
yeah.
it is.
It's one of his after his death, or maybe didn't no not after his death, and after his pro wrestling career, of course, he took the world of politics too, where he was
Hmm.
speech with Genki desu ka, which means are you healthy? Are you energetic? Are you yeah, something along those lines. That was one of the best parts of Noki. He was a very bright man, as we might say. Of course, at the start of Wrestle Kingdom 16, which kicked off the year of New Japan Pro Wrestling's 50th anniversary, he came up on the big screen wishing all the fans a good 50th year anniversary. Um, yeah, if he, I mean, if if in an alternate universe he could come back to the ring again, it would be amazing because after his victory over Will Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom, Okada said if Antonio-san, if Inoki-san can come back and fight that disease and kicks at and then his main bucket list goal was to be able to fight Inoki, where of course that was tons of miles away from that. But still, it's very sad to see him gone. And then yeah.
One thing I will just say before we move on is that at the upcoming Declaration of Power show, Antonio Inoki, even before his passing, was going to be declared the honorary chairman of New Japan Pro Wrestling for life. That has now still been carried out. Antonio Inoki will now appear as the honorary chairman of New Japan for the rest of the existence of the company. So Antonio Inoki will, of course, go down in history as the legend, the man, the myth, but he will remain in the heart and at the head of all things New Japan for as long as it exists.
Yes. I mean, without Inoki, this podcast wouldn't be even alive. This podcast wouldn't be alive. Without Inoki, I wouldn't have met Ben. Yeah. Uh, yeah, without Inoki, we wouldn't have gotten us. I mean, he was the man that created strong style. I mean, he embodies strong style, where of course, he also fought in what's called the first MMA fight, was his match
Hmm.
with Muhammad Ali, where no offense, but a horrible match. No offense, but
Yeah,
horrible. Yeah,
no, I agree. I mean, the first MMA match, aka Inoki lies on the ground and tries to kick Muhammad Ali, and then Muhammad Ali can't punch him.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but there were so many great matches,
yeah,
so many great rivalries, so
yeah.
many legendary stories, and please do take some time to check all of that out. Of course, there was actually a New Japan show on the day of his death, the Royal Quest Night 1 at the Crystal Palace in London, and seeing the roster of both New Japan, Rev Pro, and the representatives from Stardom come out to pay their tribute was deeply meaningful as it opened the show. That show is yet to go up on New Japan World. And I'm going to say this now very clearly. If you do not want the results of Royal Quest spoiled, pause this video until Royal Quest gets uploaded to New Japan World, because we're going to talk about the results. But there you go. There's your warning. Massive warning.
Massive warning. Yeah, I mean, of course, a 10-bell salute will be held again at Declaration of Power tomorrow before the matches start. And
Mhm.
and of course, there's many tributes to him in Japan as well. New Japan recently put out a t-shirt where to honor Inoki. Yeah, the Tokon towels are on the top of the charts for Tokon shop. Uh, yeah, it's, to be honest, we would have seen this coming since his disease and all that, but still, it hit me straight in the, it hit me straight in the gut.
Mm.
But yeah, Inoki, he was just, again, a legend, but still, people are still grieving his death. And actually, one thing I forgot to mention, actually,
Mhm.
in his last words, he said whenever he eats, he doesn't even have a person to talk to, since he's just laying in his bed. He wakes up, he counts the grains on the ceiling above him, um, and he says that at one point he said he doesn't even have a person to eat with, which is sad for him because I guess he, yeah, because he feels lonely. So the staff surprised him with they transferred him onto a wheelchair, and then they ate, I think, ice cream with some sort of popsicle with some called gari gari kun, where where um where Inoki requested, and then that was a real heartfelt moment. Was Inoki? I mean, he really wanted. I mean, yeah, I guess before he dies, I guess he really wanted to fulfill his goals in life. He really wanted to eat with somebody. I think one of the quotes in the last words of Inoki, he said that he wanted to remove all the trash in the world. Still, go watch his last words. It's translated
Mm.
by some person, I believe. But still, Inoki Sang, thank you very much for what you did for professional wrestling. Thank you very much for what you brought to the world. Thank you very much for what you did for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Without this, we wouldn't have gotten crazy matches like, for example, uh, Kenny Omega versus Okada, or even his own matches like Antonio Inoki versus the Great Muta. Still,
Mm.
it's very amazing. So Inoki Bombaye, yes. After,
Well, you'll be pleased to know, though, Suki, and again, Royal Quest spoilers from this time onwards,
yes,
that the spirit of Antonio Inoki
yeah,
lives on in his company, as demonstrated by the incredible performances we saw at Royal Quest nights 1 and 2 at the Crystal Palace.
yeah,
Now, I've obviously I couldn't have gone. I would have liked to have gone, but I have seen clips on Twitter, on YouTube, and other bits and pieces, and it will be uploaded to New Japan World. So one thing I will say, sellout. It was so full. It
Yeah.
I know there were concerns that it wasn't selling well, but it honestly you couldn't tell. The British crowds are amazing.
Yeah.
Where you had a hot crowd for both nights, and I will talk through some of the highlights of the cards. So, night one, first match, Gabriel Kidd defeats Dan Maloney by pinfall with a pile driver. Lovely match here. Two big, hefty guys battering each other. If there's anything more strong style than that, I don't know what is. Um, and Gabriel Kidd picking up the win in his return to a New Japan ring. So hopefully he has taken some time to get his head and take care of his mental health. We're hoping to see him back again soon, kind of really embodying that hard-hitting British style. Ricky Knight Jr. and Michael Oku, the aces of Revolution Pro Wrestling, defeated the Legion, which was Great Khan and Gideon Gray, by pinfall with Ricky Knight Jr. hitting his Goodnight driver on Gideon Gray. That was a very fun match. Michael Oku, Gideon Gray, and Great O'Khan and Ricky Knight Jr. all incredibly over with the British fans, all very familiar. Michael Oku getting his "Now We Play" chant in an arena full of 3,000 people was pretty impressive. And the Goodnight Driver, which is a modified Fire Thunder driver, is very, very fun to see, especially when Ricky Knight just drops Gideon Gray on his head. And yes, since we had a couple of questions, Ricky Knight Jr. is Soraya's cousin.
Yes.
They are cousins.
Yes.
Um, the Knight family are large, and they are not brother and sister, as has been claimed by other people. They are cousins.
Cousin.
Third match, yeah, third match. Ava White and Alex Windsor defeated Jazzy Gabert and Progress Women's World Champion Kanji. That was a fairly quick match, only 6 minutes, and it wasn't, it was probably the match that struggled the most in terms of the crowd because the only people in that match that the British crowd really knew were Alex Windsor and Kanji, and Alex Windsor didn't really get the opportunity to do much. She's Rev Pro's women's champion, so obviously they wanted to protect her and not have her take too much offense. So it was a bit flat, but it was still, women's wrestling in Britain is still strong. Alex Windsor has appeared in TJPW. She's their international champion, so she's someone to definitely keep an eye on. She's also a very talented wrestler in her own right. We have an interview with her on the All Real Wrestling podcast for Wrestling Republic. Eric Novak spoke to her about her work, kind of leading the charge of this new generation of British female wrestling and kind of all sorts of things. So we are super grateful to Alex being a friend of the Republic, being an awesome talent, and generally being great. Fourth match, Los Ingobernables de Japón defeated Suzuki-gun in a six-man tag. Tetsuya Naito hitting Destino on Dookie for the win. So you know how I said there's only one faction in New Japan who's more over in the United Kingdom than Suzuki-gun? Yeah, it's LIJ. That there were dueling chants. There was a lot of fun. Zack Sabre Jr. got a "fuck the Tories" chant started. Um, um, Zack Sabre Jr. obviously wrestling in his hometown got consistently the biggest pops of the night, of both nights because he pulled double duty. He Even with Naito getting the pin, the British crowd love LIJ. LIJ are very popular in the United Kingdom as they are in Japan, and yeah, this is no exception. Uh, Fifth match, Kazuchika Okada and Tomohiro Ishii defeated Badu Tito and Zack Knight. Jonah couldn't make Royal Quest, unfortunately. He had been pulled due to Hurricane Ian, meaning he couldn't make it from Florida to the United Kingdom. So young British heavyweight Zack Knight stepped up. Ishii scoring the pin with the vertical drop brainbuster. fairly fun match. It was mainly just kind of Okada and Ishii kind of teasing all their big moves. The
Yeah.
crowd were happy because they got to see Okada and Ishii. It was just a kind of crowd. It was a good match. It was just a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Similarly, with this match, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tamatonga, Hikuleo, and Jado defeated Jay White, the Good Brothers, and Gedo in an eight-man tag after Tanahashi hit the high fly flow. Um, the Go Ace chants, you could probably hear them outside the building. Tanahashi is also very over in the United Kingdom. We really like Tanahashi. Also, some people were cheering Jay White, some people were booing Jay White, but everyone was booing the Good Brothers and Gedo. So uh, that was all very amusing. Go ahead.
Hey, did they have a fuck? Hey, did they have a? Yeah, did they have a Jay White as a wanker chant somewhere?
I there may have been a Jay White as a wanker chant. I didn't hear any clips of it, but it wouldn't surprise me. But but as I said, like Jay White is quite popular in the United Kingdom. The UK quite likes kind of cool heels, which I will speak about more in a second. Also, quite interestingly, at the Rev Pro 10th anniversary show, Will Ospreay tried to get the kind of fuck Okada chants over for beating him in the G1, and some people were trying to chant fuck Okada. Then the coin dropped and everyone just went ballistic. So good try, Will. We tried, but Okada's just too cool. He's like he came out, he did the pose, and he's like, yeah, you guys are gonna really boo me? You're gonna boo the best wrestler in the world? Speaking of Will Ospreay in the semi-main event, this is probably the most interesting point of the match. Of the night, Will Ospreay defeated Shota Umino by stoppage, and we're worried that Umino may be injured. Obviously, Red Shoes was the ref for this match, so it was quite nice seeing Shota have red shoes, Shota and Red Shoes, Umino, his father, back in the ring. But the ending was quite abrupt. Will Ospreay did his, that spinning power bomb he does,
Oh
where
yeah.
he sort of flips over and then power bombs someone. He power bombed him, and Umino basically rolled over, and Will Ospreay did his elbow. He did what he does a lot in Rev Pro, where he does his kind of elbow smashes to the back of the head,
Yeah.
and then the ref calls for a stoppage. It's safe because he basically just he just keeps hitting them on the top of the back, but it looks like he's hitting them in the neck. Um, and it's way safer than it looks. But it's a good way to stop a match if someone's concussed. And because it was quite an abrupt end, we think Shota may have just picked up an injury or banged his head a bit too hard. So hopefully Shota's okay. Um, if he is hurt, props to Will, to Red Shoes, and to Shota for finishing the match quickly and safely. If he's not, a bit of an abrupt ending, but the main event made up for it in 32 minutes. Your IWGP your IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions FTR retained over Aussie Open 32 minutes. They went for half an hour. I've seen pictures. Uh, Everyone was bleeding, lots of blood. FTR retain after the big rig for the three. It's being called a match of the year contender. It's being called like one of the best tag matches of the year. I want to watch this match. I've only seen elements of it. FTR got the loudest chants of the night for anyone who wasn't British. Um, Aussie, 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 oi, 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 did happen. Honestly, I love Aussie Open's entrance, especially the bit where Kyle Fletcher just sits on the rope and sings along to the hit, sings along to their theme. 'Cause you know about the boom, boom. He just sits there doing like different poses every boom, like he's taking the piss out of Adam Cole a bit. So that's fun. And so that was night one. Most people were very happy with night one. They thought that it was nice to see all the big stars, even if the kind of big stars were just holding back on all their big moves a bit. But the crowd were hot. Everyone seemed to have a good time. The only sort of question marks were the women's match, and then is Shota a bit hurt? Now we move to night two, opening match. El Desperado and Dookie defeated Robbie X and Michael Oku by LS Culero. So that was a very fun match. Robbie X, someone who a lot of people I think are sleeping on. Uh, Second match, Sanada and Hiromu Takahashi defeated the Young Guns by Skull End. Young Guns, please give me a Young Guns World Tag League run sometime, because Young Guns would fit in so well in New Japan's tag division. If you like two big guys who can move, yeah, so fun. Um, Jazzy Gabert defeated Ava White in the first round match for the vacated IWGP Women's Championship via pinfall via the Inoki Plex. So a little tribute to Inoki that Jazzy has busted out before. So we have our first participant in the uh, international bracket. I'm aware that the Stardom side of the bracket has progressed as well, with surprise, surprise, Mayu Watani winning. Um, we will check that and report that for you for next week's episode. That is a promise. Fourth match, the United Empire, Will Ospreay, Aussie Open, the Great O'Khan, and Gideon Gray defeated FTR, Shota Umino, Gabriel Kidd, and Ricky Knight Jr. in a 10-man tag via the Eliminator on Gabriel Kidd. Great O'Khan getting the pin in because Rev Pro is where he did his excursion in his kind of home promotion. The British crowd love Great O'Khan. Um, and the United Empire got a very big reception. Gideon Gray did a very special ring announcement for each of them. He kind of took pot shots of lots of other New Japan guys. He had the British crowds laughing. I'd really recommend watching that entrance if you want to laugh. Um, I think he said something like Will Ospreay. He was like taking the mick out of Okada. He was taking the mick out of Naito, out of Tanahashi. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. Fifth match. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tama Tonga, and Hikuleo defeated Jay White and the Good Brothers in a six-man tag with Tama Tonga hitting the gun stun for the pinfall. Obviously, we're setting up for Tama Tonga to probably lose for the championship, but you know the match is still being kept protected. Sixth match, Kazuchika Okada defeated Bad Dude Tito via pinfall in 8 minutes with the Rainmaker. The pop that he got when he hit the Rainmaker, I think they tried to blow the roof off. The Rainmaker is probably the most over move of the weekend.
Yeah.
Seventh match, Tomohiro Ishii defeated, and this was a surprise. Obviously, Jonah couldn't travel, so they brought back Yota Tsuji.
Hey,
Yota,
Yota.
Yota, Yota is ready to come back from excursion. I will say it now. He's ready.
He's
He's ready. He is so ready. He has an amazing move set. He hits hard. So him and Tomohiro Ishii just beat each other up for almost 20 minutes. Ishii getting the pin with the brainbuster, but that I think honestly that match showed that Yota is ready to come back. Hopefully he joins the United Empire. Obviously he has that Legion connection with Gideon Gray, but Yota's ready. Yota is ready to come back. He took Ishii to his limit, and it was a super enjoyable match. Most people saying that that was the match of the night for night two, even over the main event. Tetsuya Naito defeating Zack Sabre Jr. via pinfall in 20 minutes after hitting not one, not two, but three consecutive Destinos.
really.
Yeah,
She.
because I think they wanted to keep Zack looking strong, obviously in his hometown. Um, Naito just kept Destinoing him. So the next, Naito also did the post-match promo. Of course, Naito speaks a very good English, better than most people give him credit for. He got on the mic and he said, "So you guys happy?" And everyone went, "Yes."
Yeah.
Even though I win? Yes.
Yes.
You guys like New Japan?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I am Tetsuya Naito, and we are. And then he did the whole roll call in English
Yeah.
and Spanish and that, and he got the the Los Ingobernables de Japón, and then yeah, and then he did the whole fist bump. He didn't have anyone to fist bump because he was just doing it, but he called out Will Ospreay. That's going to go down. So there you go. That was New Japan Royal Quest Nights 1 and 2, the results.
Yes.
No major storyline developments other than Yota Tsuji probably being ready and Gideon Grey somehow making the entirety of the United Empire almost break character with some of his intros. But super fun event. The British crowd loved it. New Japan, please come back.
Yeah. Still, I am still waiting. We are still waiting for that to go on New Japan World. What the fuck? It's been 1 week.
It's because Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton need to record the English commentary. That's the problem.
Okay.
They're waiting for Kevin and Chris. They're waiting for I think they're waiting for Kevin to be back in Japan,
Yeah.
so they can then do it rather than have to do it over a Zoom call.
Okay.
But when it does, we will do you a live reaction of elements of it. Probably, maybe even just the tag match, but the tag championship match, or maybe the whole event. Who knows? We're rebels.
So, Declaration of Powers, cards that made me look like a clown last week. Ah, fuck. All right. So,
Here we go.
here we go. All right. Match one. Ren Narita's return match. What the fuck, New Japan? So we have Doki, Kanemaru Yoshinobu, El Desperado taking on David Finlay, the return of Robbie Eagles, and of course, your boy, Ren Narita, six-man tag. I thought we were getting something
Narita's
better.
get
The fuck?
Narita's getting pinned.
Narita's
Oh yeah, something worth highlighting is that Robbie Eagles has just won the PWA, his kind of home Australian promotions version of their G1 Climax.
Oh, really?
So with New Japan's new Oceanic expansion coming, looking forward to seeing him get featured a bit more. But yeah, Narita's gonna get pinned.
Narita's.
Narita's gonna get pinned, or Dookie's gonna get pinned. But let's be
Okay.
real, Narita's gonna get pinned.
So next match we have TMDK, Bad Dude Tito, and Shane Haste going up against Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr., Dangerous Techers. We're probably gonna see uh TMDK got pinned, but still very
Mm.
amazing match to, a very amazing sight to see a Dangerous Techers. Next, third match, we have Taguchi, Hikuleo, and Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Sho, Yujo Takahashi, and Evil.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Taguchi or Sho is gonna get pinned, I believe.
Yeah,
Then,
for their juniors,
yeah.
so I'll get pinned.
Yep. So fourth match, we have special tag match, the Great Okan and Jeff Cobb going up against Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto.
Yeah,
That's
okay, right. I have a question here.
yeah,
I swear the whole point of them beating Fale and Owens was to determine who's number one contender.
yeah.
And
Ishihati.
now we're doing this. Now we're doing this shit again.
Well,
Fix your.
we're probably
Mm,
gonna see Bishamon.
mm.
Probably. This match, we have our good old eight-man tag match set, of course, setting up for Autumn. Yeah, I thought, what was the name of the tour again? Was it called the Autumn Attack?
Battle Autumn. Battle
Oh,
Autumn, wasn't it?
Yeah, Battle Autumn. Yeah, Battle Autumn. We have Bushi, Hiromu, Sanada, Naito versus Francesco Akira, TJP, Aaron Hinara, and Will Ospreay. Of course, setting up for Battle Autumn with Naito winning against Zack Sabre Jr. to take on Will Ospreay. We're probably gonna see Bushi pinned. Uh, but
Or TJP, or Akira.
or
Oh no, but
Akira.
Akira and TJP are champions. So
Bushi. Bushi with a B,
Bushi.
taking the L. Next, we have a special singles match. Sadly, Kushida is still recovering from his hand, foot, and mouth disease. So to take
Well,
his
soon.
spot, get well soon, Kushida. Yeah. So to take his spot, we got my favorite junior, Master Wado. We got Master Wado taking his spot. Let's fucking go, Master Wado. Master Wado getting
You
put on
know
the
he's gonna
spotlight.
lose, right?
Yeah, I know he's gonna lose. I don't care. We got Master Wado against Taiji Shimori for a special singles match. Fuck you. Fuck you to people that think Master Wado's gonna lose. I love Wado. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Wado's getting his. Oh, fuck me. All right. Seventh match.
And then
And then we have the the provisional KOPW 2022 championship match. A Who's Your Daddy match. So Shingo Takagi versus El Phantasmo. I want Phantasmo to win since I'm biased. Unofficial boy. Uh, unofficial boy. But how about you, Ben? Which wrestler do you want to see as daddy?
I don't get me wrong, I like ELP Shingo, but it's just gonna be so satisfying to see Shingo lariat ELP's head from his shoulders. Because I just know that ELP is going to do the most ridiculous sell job for the pumping bomber ever.
Uh, I like how he sell. I forgot how he sell. I forgot the move he sells, but I think he sells some moves where he like wiggles his legs and shit. Where he like wiggles his legs and shit like this. Like does that shit. If you watch his match,
Mm, yeah.
maybe you will know. But I love his selling. I love ELP selling. Um. Skills. But for this match, the loser of the match will have to go up on the mic and say, "You are my daddy," where ridiculous, but still very fun. That's New Japan for you. So
So New Japan have clearly hired a writer from DDT.
yes, they probably have. So Ace match. Fuck you for making me look like a clown. Uh, Ace match. We have Kazuchika Okada versus Jonah. The thing that I ranted for about 10 minutes the last for 10 minutes last episode. Oh
Yes, you did. Yes,
yeah,
you did.
I did. Fuck me. So of course, so again, I would like to say that I am a clown. You shall call me a clown for the next episode. So of course, this is the G1 rematch since Okada almost had a perfect winning streak if Jonah hasn't beat his ass in Osaka. So amazing match in the G1, another amazing match in Ryogoku. I I assume. Next
Yeah.
match.
And of course, we're probably going to see it Okada continuing his Inoki tribute because he was doing it so much in the G1. How many times is he going to hit the Inoki Enziguri? I think once, because normally he would have had to hit it a couple of times, but obviously with Inoki's passing, they probably just want to make sure it only gets used the one time. So in Enziguri, Rainmaker, that'll be the 3 count in my opinion.
Yuri Rainmaker. Yes. Of course, that match Okada's gonna win, no doubt. Next match, we have another match that made me look like a clown. So Tamatonga, so IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I fucking hate saying that now. Tamatonga, the challenger versus the fifth champion, Switchblade Jay White. We're probably gonna see we're probably gonna see um Jay Jay winning since
Hmm.
he since to be honest, Tama's not uh ready for to main event Wrestle Kingdom. But
Hmm.
but still, I believe that they'll still put on a pretty good match. We're probably gonna see Jay.
Lots of storyline in this.
Yeah. So if you want to explain, I need to some shit's happening on my phone right now. If you want to explain the storyline.
Yeah, it's all good. Obviously, with the Bullet Club feud, Tamatonga and the Good Brothers, God getting kicked out of Bullet Club, the formation of the kind of unit with Tanahashi and Tamatonga, Tangaloa, etc., all coming out to take on the Bullet Club and the ongoing bad blood between the former brothers in arms. I'm just gonna have a snack real quick because I am hungry as heck. Um,
I
I'm
know.
just having a snack, Suki.
But don't worry, no, I just had to go check on the dog. Just had to go check on the
Hmm,
dog for a second. He was making some weird
I
noises.
didn't even know you had a dog. So the main question I want to ask is, who's got Jay White next,
Let's go,
or
Jay.
who's got the next challenge? Do you think?
Who's got the next challenge?
because I don't think it'll be Okada just yet. Because Okada's Wrestle Kingdom.
Okada's
So,
right,
mm,
but no, I feel like there's no more challengers as I think if they put on like a
Tanahashi, maybe?
Tanahashi maybe um the next challenge. I feel like there's no more big shows anymore to have a challenger because for Autumn Attacks they already have the US Heavyweight Championship. But if they were to maybe Rumble on 55th Street, that's coming up on New York.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston and Jay White have been talking smack to each
Oh
other
yeah.
on Twitter.
Oh yeah, Eddie Kingston, JY. Yeah, didn't he call him out? Wait, didn't Jay call him out today? Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, during Strong. Yeah, yeah, that might be that might be fun. That yeah, that might be a worthy championship match. But I don't know if it will be a championship match though, since it's
Mm,
probably gonna be on Strong. But if they do it, maybe I what's what's the upcoming pay-per-view for AEW next? What's up?
Um, I think it's Full Gear next, but that's not normally till like November.
Full Gear? November. Wait,
Hang
what
on.
in November?
We have we've had All Out because everything went wrong at All Out. We've had Revolution.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think yeah, it's Full Gear, Full Gear.
Full Gear. Full Gear. If they were to do a IWGP Heavyweight World Heavyweight Championship match, um, it might be at Full Gear because I feel like Rumble on 55th Street that wouldn't. I don't know if they would do a world championship match there. I think if they were to do one, it will be a Full Gear before Kingdom. So
Hmm.
Okada's Kingdom, and if it were Eddie, I think Full Gear or a special singles match at a Rumble on 55th Street. But still, probably Tama J, so probably gonna put on an amazing performance like they always do. We're of course gonna see Jay Blade running the fuck out of Tamatonga. We're probably gonna see
Mhm.
Okada coming out and saying, "Hey Jay, this is our like sixth time fighting now. I'm gonna beat you this time." And then Jay's gonna be like, "You think you're gonna beat me? I'm the man that single-handedly sold that fast. Oh my
Mhm.
God, and all that shit."
And the
You know,
United Center.
and the United Center, and the United Center, and the number one asset in all of professional wrestling. All that were. How does Jay close the show again? He says, "Stole my era," right? Yeah,
Um, yep. So, um, I am
King
the
Switch.
number one. Right. Right. I'm Switchblade Jay White.
Yeah.
I am the number one asset in all professional wrestling. I am the last rock and roller. I am the man who single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden and the United Center. I'm King Switch, baby. I'm the best wrestler in the world, and it's still my era, and you will all breathe with the Switchblade mic drop.
Microphone. I'm looking on Cage Match to see the promo he did in Osaka, where I think that burst.
Was that the one where he clapped the entire promo?
No, that's not the one he clapped the entire promo. That was during the G1. In Osaka, it was after. I think it was when he called Hangman Page, "You cowboy bitch, you cowboy bitch."
Hmm.
Well, let me just see how much he got. I
It,
think he got all of
it's
it right.
it's not Hangman Adam. It's
Oh,
not cowboy shit. It's you fucking cowboy bitch or whatever it was.
cowboy bitch, you fucking cowboy.
Mm.
Okay, let me just. Oh yeah. I think I think he said something like, "For Hangman of the Page, you want Okada, you got Okada, because you ain't getting near this, you dumb cowboy bitch." Dumb cowboy bitch. Some shit like that.
Mm.
Yes.
God, I love Jay White. God, I love Jay White. He's so
Uh, he's so cool, even when he did our little promotion.
yep. For which we are, I'm still slightly shocked we did that.
Yeah.
Right. I think though that pretty much covers everything that's going on in New Japan.
Yes.
Obviously, next episode we've got the updated IWGP Women's Championship brackets. We've got the results from Declaration of Power, anything new that comes out from there,
Yeah.
and we've got the beginning of the road to Wrestle Kingdom with the World Tag League and things like that.
Yes.
So, perhaps more appropriately than ever,
Yes.
we are going to close out this episode. Please do follow us, leave us a like, leave us a comment, leave us any feedback, subscribe, follow Wrestling Republic on Instagram.
Yeah.
Tons of cool stuff coming out, whichever promotion takes your fancy. But here at Lions of the Republic, we do New Japan.
Yes.
And perhaps the most poignant of all, we're going to wrap up this episode the way we always do. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.
I
Ish,
ni
ni,
sa
san,
da.
da.